Here is the latest.
A little background. In 2018, I decided to build a Cyclops for Bonneville. I made it that it has the same shape, and I lowered it to the ground and had larger tires, and I also built a roll cage for it. Stan suggested that it would be nice if we had an original Cyclops at Bonneville. So I was thinking, I've always wanted to make one as close to the original as possible. So I went ahead the next year and made the one that we actually took out to Bonneville, and I got timed.
Here it is sitting on the salt flats. We had a group of 4 Cyclops builders who met out there. I got timed at 20.5 miles an hour, which doesn't seem a lot, but those salt flats is not like blacktop. It's pretty darn rough out there. And it's high altitude, a lot of heat, and I'm running, like 4-inch wheels, so 20.5 miles an hour, not too bad.
After returning, I could keep the Cyclops and take it to some shows, but I decided I'm going to donate it to the Lane Motor Museum in Nashville. That way more people can see what the Cyclops is.
Here it is on the floor.
We're thinking of possibly going back to Bonneville. So thought, well, I'll make a lightweight version. So it'll still look like the normal Cyclops, but see, I've always had the idea, see how much weight I can reduce from one and carry it a little further. So that's what led to this version.
I wanted to reduce weight, so I started with the body and made it out of 20 gauge instead of 18. Up front, I went with a 1-inch tube instead of solid axle. I went with 5/8 inch spindles instead of 3/4, and for the steering, I ended up using 5/16 instead of 3/8. The steering shaft is tube instead of being solid, and also drilled some holes in the bottom plate. The steering wheel is plastic, and support plates, I drilled more holes. This is a center jack screw assembly, which has some holes in the plates and houses the brake. The floor ends up having a lot of holes, not only for lighting, but for ventilation for the engine. The seat is only a single seat that's made out of fiberglass. My standard pedal assembly I replaced with a lightweight version. The spare tire I end up making a magnetic picture and holding it more secure in place with plastic screws. Once I get the bottom half made, I kind of like putting it together and just getting it out and seeing how it rides. All in all, I did reduce it by about 100 pounds and painted some flames. It may not go faster, but it looks like it should. Now, aerodynamics, I ended up lowering it by 3 inches. The headlight is recessed. I made 2 fiberglass air intakes for the engine to keep it cool. Looking at the engine, you can see all the ventilation holes, along with just a simplified centrifugal clutch. I cut holes in the back windshield, so maybe it'll stop air from being trapped. I stiffened the suspension by taking tubes welding to a plate and then mounting them above the springs. Just a look at an extra door I mounted so you can get to the engine, to the kill switch, in case it's needed. A little view showing how the brake works. Since we're going for top speed, I chose a small sprocket on the rear axle. Let's take a test drive. With no doors like the original Cyclops, you enter by crawling through the window and try to do it gracefully. Few rattles between the body panels I need to work out, but all in all, not a bad ride. I guess the next step is just to head to Bonneville.